somewhere. And we're looking hard right now to do that. It will put a paramedic in Lubec for a while on a full-time basis. And I think that'll be really neat. We haven't done it since, I think, back in the early 2000s. So, and then, as I said, we want to make this as temporary as we can. That's my goal in this.
You know, at the last board meeting when we were discussing it, Down East is committed to the area, to the Machias area. You know, right now the base they're in, they've got no showers. So you're going to bring a crew in for 48 hours, 72 hours. They don't have the means to take care of, you know, to properly maintain themselves. Kitchen area is, you know, basically
It's
closet.
no, it's not very large. It's rather 60-ish. And we need to do something for them to have a real place to be able to make a meal. Because they live there. You actually, in this job, you live on the job. It's different. They don't just go home at night and have supper. So that's what we're looking to do anyway.
Well, it sounds really good. I mean, it sounds good to have more professionalism, more qualifications online. So if someone is sick, it will certainly be dealt with, and chances are a lot better for a faster recovery. I think it's great. So, temporary, sure way.
Should we meet with the fire chief?
area. He voiced no objections to it. Said he had the space. He talked about moving the tanker back, and then the transfer ambulance could park in front of that. The tanker here was on loan from the main forest service.
Yeah.
So I mean that would be, you know, for a forest fire or grass fire. You know, right now you don't have a whole lot of those. And if the need be, you know, the ambulance could be pulled out and that truck could be placed into service within that.
well, and also the transfer ambulance will be gone quite a lot too. So it'll be on transfer, hopefully. So.
How many people will be staying in the quarters?
Probably 3 during the day instead of 2, and then at nighttime we'll work something out. Because we know we can't put 4 people in there on a full-time basis, so yeah, just not quite big enough. And that's a good question.
I have 2 extra bedrooms. We could probably work out a deal.
Well, we'll be talking now.
And she's right across the street.
I know she is.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Well, the rent here is free, so if she can match the rent, we won't.
I need some steaks or something.
The food might be better, I think, over there. So.
Sarah's being mean.
Steve, I just have one question. The people that work here permanently, are they okay with it? I mean,
Well, I think everyone realizes that the base was never going to be full-time Joanne anyway. And I think they knew the day was coming when we were going to have to do something. And we don't want to just like drop off the ledge and not have service around. We want to keep, and I want to keep everybody working and stuff. So that's why we're doing this. But we want to do something better as a base down there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know the money is in transfers, that's for sure. I mean, it's going to subsidize for sure. But I didn't want to see the Lubec people get pushed out of a job or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we need a motion?
Probably would be a good
I
idea.
make a motion that we accept on a temporary basis housing the staff from Down East EMS and the Lubec Fire Hall until they find a permanent solution to their base situation.
Second.
All in favor?
Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Next item I'd like to discuss is a liquor license policy for the town of Lubec. What we've had, you know, until recently, people would come by and drop the policy off, and we would post it at the town office, we'd post it on Channel 7, and we'd have a public hearing. State statute requires that we put it in the paper. So we've been working on a policy that we would ask any licensed applicant for renewal to drop it off at the town of Lubec 30 days prior. With the money to put it in the paper, the town staff and see to it that that was done. And then we would have enough time to review it, the selectmen would have enough time to review it. This is something that, we don't have to vote on tonight, but I'd like to have the selectmen thinking, about putting this policy in place, and then we can send it out to people that, have had liquor license renewals or applications in the past, and then they would be aware of it.
Okay.
Because, like I said, posting in the newspaper is required under Title 28A, 653 1B, and it states, requires an applicant to advertise his or her pending application in a local weekly paper for 3 consecutive days prior to the hearing date, allowing the public to voice any objection. By having them send the fee to us and having the town office staff make the communication with the paper, we'll know that that step is done. And the 30-day policy, like I said, we give the selectmen time to review it. From time to time, we find parts in the application that are incomplete. So we can go back and work with the business owner and making sure that the application is complete when it comes time to sit down and review it. So I think that would streamline the operation, make it a little more effective. I think the biggest hurdle is going to be making sure that businesses understand. You can't come in a day or two before the selectmen's meeting and say, I need to have this for my license expires. You're going to have to plan ahead a little bit and give us the time to do what we have to do. But it is being in compliance with state statutes.
John, did that just say 3 consecutive days in the newspaper, which would mean a daily
Right.
newspaper, which is that
Well,
more?
But we can, because we don't have a daily, we can substitute,
A weekly,
Right.
bi-weekly. I mean,
whatever.
if we had a,
Okay,
If
that
we had
would
a-
increase the cost
Yeah.
substantially.
Right,
if we had a bi-weekly paper, I think the bi-weekly paper would have to be out and in circulation for 3 consecutive days, where somebody could pick it up, look at the ad, and voice any concerns that they would have.
Local weekly newspaper.
Yes.
John, I have a question if this is to garner any information from the public, because it says, local/weekly newspaper for 3 consecutive days prior to the hearing date, allowing the public to voice any objection or concerns. So they're gonna have to come to a hearing to voice those concerns. Okay.
and then the last paragraph of this proposed policy, it says the diagram must
Yeah.
include all areas inside and any outside decks. Do you want to clarify that to include
Entrances and,
access?
right, I thought that was in the fine print on the original state application, which was, exits.
Well, I think the exits have to be identified.
Yeah,
As far as the area where alcohol is being consumed, and then any outside deck would be,
Place where they may be
If they
consumed.
were- if
where
were
they may be
consuming them
consuming
on-
alcohol.
Right.
And it has to
Right.
be there, it has to be drawn
Yeah.
out.
But
It has to
the-
be on the drawing.
the ramps are an ADA,
Required,
That's
right,
right, compliance with
Right.
code on handicap.
right, so that
Yeah.
could be in that last paragraph.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it could be in addition to that.
Right. That all ADA requirements
Right.
are met.
Well, then I'll make a motion that we accept the Town of Lubec liquor license policy as written with the inclusion in the last paragraph for ADA compliance. And I would like it also to be put on the town website so that people can click in and see what the new policy is.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Next item is ORPC had an informational fair. I was planning on going to it, but we had an ambulance authority meeting that night. Mike informed me that he was going to attend it.
I
so
did.
I'll let him give you the update.
And The unit was on the hard, as they say, out of the water, and had been pressure washed to remove all of the weed and algae growth, and they were preparing to give it a complete engineering autopsy to see how it has survived its stay on the bottom, complete with the sacrificial anodes and a couple spots where, due to shimming, there was not a good coat of paint, which they knew it was going to be coming out pretty soon. And this is all meeting their requirements under the Federal Energy Regulation permit to pull it back out and see how it's doing, not just leave it down there. It was obvious that there are several generations into new blade design, which has reduced the vibration issues from the very beginning. And it was well attended, and everyone seemed to be very interested in it. And as I've told many people, it's the wave of the future. If the problem with windmills is the visuals, what can you say about a tidal generating unit that's on the bottom? It's like, it's about as exciting as watching a submarine race, you know? I know that there's a lot of money invested in that and it's on the bottom, but most of the people on North Lubec Road are the recipients of the initial power that is coming into that, not to mention the upgrade that was paid for by ORPC with new poles and power lines to back to the main grid. So once again, they've been it's been a very good relationship between the town and us, and we're glad they're here, and I can't wait till they go into full-scale production of these things, because this is just the initial stages of proving the design before they go big time, and I just hope they remember us when they go big time.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with Glenn Marquis. I mean, they are still moving forward with a second and a third tie-gen for the North Lubec site.
Yes.
So they're going to learn everything they can on this unit, what's working, what's not working, and incorporate that into the design of future units. But Glenn Marquis was pretty adamant that, you know, they are still looking at expanding that North Lubec site to a second and third unit. Well, I mean, you know, as we're looking at having issues with revenue sharing and other issues that come down, I mean, you know, this could be part of the mix. So I think that's good. Next item, Lubec Pirate Invasion. That's set for this weekend. Sarah, we get more information on that?
I actually stepped away from heading up that committee as I approached a number of businesses and wasn't really given much help. And Jenny Brown came forward, who works at the Atlantic House, and she's done a good job in the last 2 weeks of pulling people and a great schedule of events together. So I would first like to thank her. And I haven't been able to find that pirate flag of mine, but I'm gonna keep looking. Because they will be coming around 9 a.m. on Saturday. And it looks like Randy has a complete schedule.
My
There you go.
My understanding is talking with Jen is they are planning on land, air, and sea.
Right there, okay.
You know, Jenny said that they're looking at from about 9 to 2. We'll have events, including a pirate parade, a tug of war, events for the kids. We'll bring the kids out. And in a short period of time, it seems like they put together quite a few.
Well,
They have a schedule that's being circulated.
very organized pirates.
Is that posted somewhere?
Can we expect marshmallows from heaven again?
I imagine.
Well, the year before, they threw them out of an airplane as they flew over.
Oh,
yeah.
They did, I'm not kidding.
That was part of
I
the
would
land,
not
air,
make
and
that
sea.
up.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
ultralights going over our house every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great marshmallow.
There they are.
Hey, it's good fact.
And I mean, I'll give them credit. They do put on a good show.
Eastport does a fantastic job,
Right.
not only on their own festival, which is really quite something, and for them to organize as many people as they do and to come here when